Good morning, welcome to this morning's meditation. I'm a bit later today. I've just done the school run, so I'm back now and ready to share with all of you here. So welcome to this beautiful, sacred space here with all of us, and to this beautiful new day full of possibilities. And I hope you've all rested well and are feeling good wherever you may be in the world right now. And I realise that you could be tuning in from anywhere. So we're going to, I'm going to start by doing an Osho Tarot, an Osho Zen Tarot reading for us all. And I'll just see how I feel about how many cards to pick this morning. Usually it's either 1 or 3, so we'll see. Morning, Sarah. So lovely to have you here. It's funny, I usually do these at 7 a.m, but occasionally it gets later and I realise that I'm reaching different people because not everybody can be available at 7 a.m. Oops, these cards are jumping out this morning. So, I've picked 3 cards. We've got receptivity, letting go, and understanding. And if you're just tuning in, please say hi and where you're tuning in from. And very welcome to you all. So, receptivity. Receptivity represents the feminine, receptive quality of water and of the emotions. Her arms are extended upwards to receive, and she is completely immersed in the water. She has no head, no busy and aggressive mind to hinder her pure receptivity. And as she is filled, she is continuously emptying herself, overflowing and receiving more. The lotus pattern or matrix that emerges from her represents the perfect harmony of the universe that becomes apparent when we are in tune with it. The Queen of Water brings a time of unboundedness and gratitude for whatever life brings, without any expectations or demands. Neither duty or thought of merit or reward are important. Sensitivity, intuition and compassion are the qualities that shine forth now, dissolving all the obstacles that keep us separate from each other and from the whole. Good morning, Tony. Listening is one of the basic secrets of entering into the temple of God. Listening means passivity. Listening means forgetting yourself completely. Only then can you listen. When you listen attentively to somebody, you forget yourself. If you cannot forget yourself, you never listen. If you are too self-conscious about yourself, you simply pretend that you are listening. You don't listen. You may nod your head, you may sometimes say yes and no, but you are not listening. When you listen, you become just a passage, a passivity, a receptivity, a womb, you become feminine. And to arrive, one has to become feminine. You cannot reach God as aggressive invaders, conquerors. You can reach God only, or it would be better to say, God can reach you only when you are receptive. A feminine receptivity. When you become yin, a receptivity, the door is open, and you wait. Listening is the art for becoming passive. So the next card is letting go. Which is this one. In this image of a lotus leaf in the early morning, we can see in the rippling of the water that one drop has just fallen. It is a precious moment, and one that is full of poignancy. In surrendering to gravity and slipping off the leaf, the drop loses its previous identity and joins the vastness of the water below. We can imagine that it must have trembled before it fell, just on the edge between the known and the unknowable. To choose this card is to recognize that something is finished, something is completing. Whatever it is, a job, a relationship, a home you have loved, anything that might have helped you define who you are. It is time to let go of it, allowing any sadness, but not trying to hold on. Something greater is awaiting you. New dimensions are there to be discovered. You are past the point of no return now, and gravity is doing its work. Go with it. It represents liberation. Letting go. In existence, there is nobody who is superior and nobody who is inferior. The blade of grass and the great star are absolutely equal. But man wants to be higher than others. He wants to conquer nature, hence he has to fight continuously. All complexities arise out of this fight. The innocent person is one who has renounced fighting, who is no longer interested in being higher, who is no longer interested in performing. Morning, Georgia! In proving that he is someone special, who has become like a rose flower or like a dewdrop on the lotus leaf, who has become part of this infinity, who has melted, merged and become one with the ocean and is just a wave, who has no idea of the I. The disappearance of the I is innocence. And the third card this morning is understanding. The bird pictured on this card is looking out from what seems to be a cage. There is no door, and actually the bars are disappearing. The bars were all illusion, and this small bird is being summoned by the grace and freedom and encouragement of others. It is spreading its wings, ready to take flight for the very first time. The dawn of a new understanding that the cage has always been open and the sky has always been there for us to explore, can make us feel a little shaky at first. It's fine and natural to be shaky, but don't let it overshadow the opportunity to experience the light-heartedness and adventure on offer. Right there alongside the shakiness. Move with the sweetness and gentleness of this time, feeling the fluttering within. Spread your wings and be free. You are out of jail, out of the cage. You can open your wings and the whole sky is yours. All the stars and the moon and the sun belong to you. You can disappear into the blueness of the beyond. Just drop, clinging to this cage. Move out of the cage and the whole sky is yours. Open your wings and fly across the sun like an eagle. In the inner sky, in the inner world, freedom is the highest value. Everything else is secondary, even blissfulness, ecstasy. There are thousands of flowers unaccountable, but they all become possible in the climate of freedom. The message there is that freedom is ours for the taking. We just have to realise that we are already free, that we always have been free, that we always will be free. The bars are the constraints of the mind, the conditionings, the ideas, the false ideas and ideologies that we have that bind us to this experience, this world, and make the illusion seem like the truth. When we discover the truth of who we truly are, what we truly are, we know that there is nothing that can hold us back from freedom apart from ourselves. There's nothing that can hold us back from truth apart from ourselves. And so it's time to embrace the truth that we are free, that we are always free, that we've always been free and we will always be free. Enlightenment is knowing that there are no bars on the cage, on the perceived cage of the mind. There never were, and there never have been, and there never will be. Morning, Jill. Morning, Lisa. I'm going to read again from this book that I read from yesterday, G.U.R.U. by Krishna Prem, and his experience living with Osho. And I'm just going to open it somewhere. This looks good. The first line that I've opened it on. I mean, really, does anybody give a shit about meditation? Don't we really want to understand the opposite sex? Would you not really rather write a book on men understanding women and women understanding men? Don't we feel all so terribly lonely and unhappy with just being alone? Will meditation really satisfy me so that I can just sit here in my aloneness and do nothing at all and be happy? Now it is a very good question. Can I do anything for you when I write this book? Have I learned anything about meditation and being alone? Let's look at this. To be honest, I would be lying to you if I told you I had the answer to this eternal question. I know that we are all one, but after that I don't know much. Women remain an absolute mystery to me. But one of the things I am working with in writing this book, interestingly enough to me, is about the Buddhist experience called not knowing. Not knowing is the most intimate experience, and I only bring this up because, as a man, when I say I don't know, oftentimes what I am saying is, please ask me tomorrow, because tomorrow I will know the answer. And when a woman says to me, I don't know, it doesn't seem to create the future. For me, not knowing creates the future. For many of the women that I know, not knowing is okay as long as breakfast tastes good. I don't know how to explain it in any other way except that there does seem to be a pretty big difference between men and women. I absolutely know that there is a difference. I know that the deeper we go into ourselves, there isn't a difference, but that is certainly not a great answer. Life is a mystery to be lived, not a problem to be solved. I will never forget one time I was in love with a girl, and what broke us up was that she fell in love with another master, not Osho. And of course we all got into comparison, and nothing ruins a relationship more than comparison. Your guru is better than my guru. That's a great sentence. Your guru is better than my guru. Our relationship was going down the drain quickly. I was pretty much in love and remembered that I was driving her home for the last time. I will never forget we got caught in a traffic jam and we were just crawling along, and I remember saying to myself, there is nowhere else that I want to be right now than in this traffic jam. You know, that's what love can do. It's bigger than the traffic jam. You can go at a standstill pace on a 60-mile-an-hour freeway and be happy as a pig in shit. That's what I call love, and that's what I call abundance. Another day that traffic jam would have just driven me up the wall, but today it was perfect. Basically, Osho spoke every day that I have known him for about 2 hours a day when he spoke, and then he would go into silence. After silence, he would really enjoy speaking about God and the self and the no-self. He really was a brilliant man. When it came to discussing meditation, he just did not need any notes to speak for those 2 hours. The only time he ever used his notes seriously is if he wanted to tell a joke. In other words, for me, what I was watching was how seriously he took telling a joke well. And also the jokes were about the only thing where I knew the punchline before he had said it. I've always enjoyed a good joke, just like you, so I've heard a lot of jokes, and Osho knew and always reminded us that most of the jokes actually came out of America, where I came from. The most fun I had with Osho was actually sending jokes to him. I rarely asked him a question about the pursuit of happiness, but I did give him answers, meaning I sent him a lot of jokes. And I would make the jokes that I sent to him very complicated, and he would really actually read the jokes that I sent. And I could actually close my eyes and be in the moment with him, if you know what I mean. So one night, I was sitting in the front row with my eyes closed, and all of a sudden I got excited because he read a joke that I had sent to him. The beauty of this story is that I sent him this joke all the time because he never told it, and I couldn't understand why not, because it was such a great joke. Then another week would go by and I would send him the same joke again. And then I decided not to send him any more jokes until he told this particular one. Finally one night he told it, and you might have heard it, but I want to say it now because it was really cute. A boy goes to a temple, and he says to God, you know, I have been coming to this temple my whole life, as far back as I can remember, and I have always prayed, and I have always been a good person, and I've always followed the Bible, and basically nothing good happened from it. Good morning, Atik. So I will tell you what, God, I want some actual proof that you are listening to me and paying attention and serving me, because it's not about just me serving you. I want to be served back. So I will tell you what I'm going to do. Unless I win the lottery in the next year, I am going to drop church. And lo and behold, the year passes, and the boy is sitting in the temple, and he says to God, well, this is it, God. You never did anything to prove to me and I did not win the lottery. That's it. I'm never coming back to the temple again. And all of a sudden the whole roof of the temple completely rises. Thunder cracks through the sky, and the clouds open up. Here is God, with his bearded face, and he looks down at the boy, and he says, "My God, at least meet me halfway, buy a lottery ticket." That's quite funny. Now, Osho would of course have been a better comedian. Every day he got older. He did not laugh at his own jokes, but he always smiled when he heard laughter from the audience, and everybody loved this joke. It had got that great Jewish humour with this punchline and a little bit of reality thrown in. And I really loved it because the whole time Osho read word for word every single word that I had sent him, including the names of the characters. And this was the most fun I had had with him, because to be honest, I was new to meditation, new to love, new to devotion, new to trust, and every word was branded new, because I did not have a lot of experience at that time. But I knew a good joke when I heard one, and I loved sending it to him. Laughter is a real prayer. It's a real show of gratitude. Laughing at life, laughing at death. Laughing is, I am old enough now where many of my friends are not well in their bodies, and when I can, I always give them a little $5 sculpture of a laughing Buddha called Hoti. And Hoti was a man that was very well loved and had a great sense of humour. When he died, he knew that people would be sad, and he wondered how he could possibly be sad when all he had been showing them is delightful. When all he'd been showing them is how delightful life is and how delightful death is. But sadness is always there at funerals, it seems like. So what he did was he packed his body with fireworks, and as everybody began to cry, when his body began to burn, fireworks went off. There's an idea, folks. And all through the funeral pyre, it was just one firework going off after another, and everybody got that he was celebrating his own death, and they began to laugh and celebrate with him. I know this is a very, very difficult concept for us in the West, that anybody would want to celebrate death. And I am not suggesting to you that I will be able to celebrate my own death. I am just saying, why do we take it so seriously? Why do we think it's such a disappointing experience? If we enjoy life, why can't we enjoy death? Are we really our bodies? Are we really our minds? Aren't we bigger than that? It's up to you, and I can't really answer for you. So here's another joke I sent to Osho. Abe is living in Malibu, a very, very wealthy boy, and he has just always given himself to people. They need a new temple, he built a temple. It's a Sunday afternoon and he's relaxing at home, and the waves are storming in and there is thunder in the air. The fire department rings his doorbell and the guy says, "Abe, we are evacuating the area. It looks like there is going to be a huge wave coming into Malibu, a tsunami, and we would like you to come with us. You have been a great man and a great support to the community, and we would like to save you." And Abe says very gently, "In my hour of need, only God can save me." And the fire department just leaves. Now we have a Coast Guard cutter coming into the shore. "Abe, please come with us. The tsunami is coming. The huge wave is coming. You need to evacuate." And Abe says, "In my hour of need, only God can help me." Now Abe is on the roof and the Air Force helicopters come. The wind is blowing. "Abe, please, this is it. You have to come with us now." And Abe says, in my hour of need, God will help me. And the helicopter takes off, and the tsunami wave comes and crushes Abe's house, kills Abe. He's soaking wet, and he knocks at the door of heaven. Sir Peter says, Abe, we have been waiting for you, come in. And then Abe comes in and sits in front of God, but he is not looking at God. So God says, Abe, I have been waiting for you for so long. Why are you taking life so seriously? Why aren't you delighted to see me? And Abe says, where were you, God, in my hour of need? And God says, are you kidding? I sent the fire department, I sent the Navy, I sent the Air Force. Isn't it true that we all think we are special? The last thing that God whispered in your ear before you were born is, Abe, you are special. That word special can really cripple us. It can make us feel absolutely separate. We always feel deep down that we're better than everybody else, and that specialness creates separateness, and that separateness actually makes us enemies. We are one. Better to say we are all ordinary. But these two jokes that I just told you, I guess I told them because I'm so excited that Osho spoke them so exactly. They are great jokes, but they are all these jokes that indicate that God is outside of us. But one of the most beautiful stories I have ever heard was, and this is this one. God was finished with creation. He created men and women and so many animals and so many trees that everybody started bothering God, asking, could I be as tall as that other tree? Could I be as beautiful as that flower? Could I be as beautiful as that flower? Everybody had requests, and the guy was really getting bored. He loved what he had created, but nobody seemed satisfied, so he decided to get out of town, to go and seek some peace. And he was sitting with this wise man, and he said, where could I go to get away from all these questions? I don't have the answers for these people. They are going to have to find them themselves, that they are beautiful unto themselves. And he said to the wise man, how about if I build myself a house on the moon? And the wise man said, man is so curious that I can't imagine that they won't make a spaceship to get to the moon. And they are going to knock on your door, and the very first thing they're going to say, we have a giant leap for mankind, and now we would like to know how to be happy. They are going to bother you. Wherever you go, they are going to bother you. Then God said, how about the bottom of the ocean? The wise man said, forget it, they have submarines. So within 2,000 years, they are going to come to the bottom of the ocean. They're going to find you living there, and they're going to have the same eternal question, how can I be happy? And God said, I got it, I got it. And he did not even tell the wise man, but since I'm a meditator, I know. He decided to hide in the hearts of men, because he knew that no one would look inside of themselves for the answer. So God is hiding inside each and every one of us. This is where your real freedom is. You are the only master of your being. Of course, God would never go out to outer space or into your heart without saying goodbye. And he was very attached to Adam and Eve, as you know. And interestingly enough, it now leads into the passage that I read yesterday. So I had no idea that was going to happen. So if you watch yesterday's, you'll get the rest of the story. So good morning, John. Good morning, Owen. I'm not sure who's still here, but it's lovely to have you here in this sacred space this morning and sharing. So now we're going to move in to do some meditation. And I'm just going to have some of my tea and share with you the message on my tea. And it says, Love is a source of bliss and infinity. And I guess it's going to say it backwards, isn't it? I've just realised that as I'm showing you. Love is a source of bliss and infinity. I hope you can all hear me. I hope you can all hear me clearly. I know somebody earlier said they couldn't hear me. So let's come to the breath. Just feel the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Feeling the connection with the breath and the body. And as you breathe in, just feeling how the body feels this morning. How are you feeling? What's happening? How does your body feel? Let's just scan through our bodies now, starting at the crown of the head, and just with your attention, just move your attention slowly through the body, down through the head, through the nose, through the mouth, through the neck and shoulders, through the chest, down through the arms, through the belly, through the solar plexus, down through the belly, through the pelvis and groin, bringing your attention down through your legs, just noticing if there's anywhere that needs your attention. And your body will guide you. There may be some discomfort, there may be some pain, there may be something that feels just a little bit tight. Just go with your awareness through the body, starting again at the crown, through the head, moving down through the eyes, through the nose, the lips, mouth, neck and shoulders, ears, just really bringing your awareness to all the parts of your body. And as you move your awareness through your body, feeling how it feels. If there's anywhere where anything feels restricted, or maybe it doesn't even have a name, maybe it just has a sensation. Maybe there's a feeling but you're not quite sure what that is. You don't have to label everything, just go through each part of your body, down your arms again, through the chest, through your digestive system. Just feeling what is happening and how your body is feeling this morning. How are you connecting to your body? And does it feel relaxed? Is there some tension? Whatever it might be, and just take your awareness to that particular place. And just allow yourself to dive into that space, however it's feeling, whatever the sensation. Trusting that your body has all the wisdom and your awareness is what's needed. And breathe into that area or those areas. And notice what's happening when you breathe into that area that needs your attention. Be aware of what's happening. Be aware of the silence that is now arising from within. And breathe through your nose. And if there is anywhere else in the body that needs your attention, just go with the wisdom of your body. Your body's intelligence will guide you, is guiding you. Be open to exploring, be curious, of those sensations and feelings, of anything needs your attention. And breathe. Noticing the expansion from within. Noticing the silence that's arising. Noticing the connection with the body, but that you are not limited to the body. There is an expansiveness arising from this place. There is an openness, a sense of pure freedom. And if there are any more places in the body need your attention, go there and be curious, go into it, allow yourself to feel it, whatever it might be. Just be and feel. And once more, scanning the body from the crown, from the head through the third eye, the eyes, the nose, the lips, the chin, the neck, the shoulders. Slowly moving the awareness down the body, through the arms, through the chest, ribs, stomach, the digestive system, the heart, to the pelvis, lower back, through the back, down the thighs, and into the feet. And breathe. And again, notice the silence from within. Noticing silence from within. Permeating all throughout the space that you are now in, the body, the room. And noticing that there is no beginning or end to you. When you look with your awareness, you notice that there is no boundary. There is a subtle awareness of the body, and knowing that you are not limited to the body. There is an awareness of the space that you are in, and a knowing that you are not limited to that space. And the crown chakra, you may be feeling an opening now within the body. breathe. And now you begin to feel the energy of your being, the energy of this moment here, now, being experienced. This moment is not separate from you. And this moment is you. You feel wide open, like the sky. The breath is expanding beyond the body now. The breath is being felt all around you. The whole of the space that you are in is filled with breath. As you attune to the one breath, the breath of God, and all life is manifesting from this breath, moment to moment, reborn, created, manifested as a whole, moment to moment. The entire universe, with each breath, you are reborn in each moment, through each breath. Each breath is a rebirth of your being. Like the flickering of a candle, and if you haven't already, take a deep breath now and begin to open your eyes and let the light in that's all around you. And if you need to have a stretch, you can have a stretch. Allow yourself to be with the silence. But no need to hold on to anything. And just allow life to flow. Breathing everything in. Feeling the body on the chair. Being aware of the room. Of how you feel. Be aware of how you feel and savor what is happening. There is so much magnificence here. We don't need to look anywhere else, to anyone else, only to ourselves, into our own hearts. Thank you for giving yourselves this space this morning and for sharing with me. Many blessings to you all. Have a blessed day. And thank you so much. And if you would like to say anything about this, please feel free to comment below or ask me any questions. And much love.